All right, everyone. So today we are with Maheep Sir, and he is representing Instituto Marangoni, and he is here to answer a question regarding anything related with the Instituto Marangoni Mumbai, the international collaboration, the 1+2 program, 2+1 program, fee structure, scholarship. He will be taking care of everything. So first of all, he'll be presenting a small presentation in which he will be guiding you and helping you regarding all the basic and primary information you should know about the Institute of Marangoni. And after that, we are going to take a lot of questions and a very tough questions with Maheep sir, because I have got a lot of questions to ask from you. So over to you, Maheep sir. You can start the session, and I'll join you after you are done with your presentation.
Thank you so much, Sumit. It's a pleasure to present in front of the students from your coaching center, one of the best coaching center for sure. I'm getting really good students from there. Now coming back, well, very good evening, everyone. As Sumit finally said, that yes, my name is Maheep, and I represent an Italian design school that's called Istituto Marangoni. We are the pioneers of design education that started in 1935 in Milan. And in the period of last 85 years, we have now 10 campuses across the globe, in which our campuses are in Milan, Paris, London, Florence, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Mumbai, and Miami. Without further ado, I'll quickly share my presentation, and I'll start with the life of a student in Marangoni to begin with. Then I'll take you to the presentation of the basic and overview of Marangoni, followed by the fee structure, and definitely talking about our alumni, our scholarships, merit-based, branding-based. So all this information will be shared during the session. So here you go. Can you share? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So to begin with, I'm going to start with the life of a student in Istituto Marangoni. When I mentioned that we have 10 campuses across the globe, please understand that all campuses are being taken care of by the head office. We do not have any franchise or affiliated center, which means all campuses will have the same facilitators, same facilities, same accreditation, same certifications. There's only difference is going to be the fee structure and the geographics. So that becomes really easy for any student to start their course in any campus and end their course in any campus. So we are always at that part as compared to any other local institution in India at least. So life of a student in Marangoni to begin with.
I'm studying the Master of Fashion Design.
Everything is fashion.
I study interior design.
Yeah.
You're doing interior design?
Enjoy.
I love the school.
My name is Chris.
Fréquente pour le styliste.
Studio fashion design.
The meaning of fashion. I want to be a fashion designer.
Grande voglio fare progettista.
I don't care if you wanna tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's a glitch in the video. All right. Now, talking about Marangoni, as I said, we started in 1935. We have about 45,000 alumni already working in this industry, with 4,000 students getting graduated every year from the 10 campuses of Marangoni. We specializes in 3 major domains, that's fashion, arts, and design. So when I talk about those 10 campuses, geographically, we're located in an area where the student gets the maximum exposure. When you talk about Milan, Milan is the design capital of the world, which specializes in the women's wear. Florence is the art capital of the world, which specializes in the arts, but also specializes in the menswear collection. Paris is known for the haute couture, is the fashion capital of the world. London, one of the most commercialized city, which specializes in pret couture. Then we have Mumbai, one of the most commercialized city, which any person who wants to come up with their venture pan India would definitely have their office in Mumbai. Then we have Shanghai, Shenzhen, and followed by Miami, our recent add-on. As said before, a student can start their course in any campus, can end their course in any campus. It's an easy transition. So these are the courses that we cater in our Mumbai campus, though we have 120 plus courses to be catered in all 10 campuses of Marangoni. But specifically talking about today, Marangoni, we will be having 4 undergraduate programs. One is fashion design, the other one is fashion styling, and we have fashion business, then we have interior designing. And for post-graduation, my favorite is definitely going to be luxury brand management and marketing, very easy course, and followed by fashion buying and visual merchandising. And now talking about undergraduate program, which I believe that right now your students are studying in 12th year. So undergraduate students will have a 3 years program. Now in these 3 years, you can do a year in India, you can do 2 years in London or Paris, out of which as per my experience with Marangoni, definitely you can go with any campus every year. We will ask you where do you want to do the next year. But there is 2 good options for my students. One is do you do a year in India, you do 2 years in London campus. London campus, English speaking country, London is definitely giving a 2-year work visa to the students also. So all of a sudden it became a hotcake in the industry. A second option is do 2+1. 2+1 means 2 years in India, understand the Indian context, then opt for the 3rd year in Milan, Paris or Florence. But definitely if you ask my suggestion, I would anyway suggest you to go to Milan campus. Milan is the first campus. And I'm sorry, I've not mentioned you before, we are also in the top 10 schools in the world. So this is what our worldwide ranking is. Now, a lot of students asking Maheep, very good that you guys are in the top 10 schools in the world. Everything is all sorted. Now, how do I get into your institution? Before I mention how do you get into it, I also do want to mention is that Istituto Marangoni has a very intensive curriculum. You would come at 9:30 in the morning, get free by 6:37 for the next 3 years. But I can vouch for it. I'm into this industry for 9 to 10 years. In the design industry, I can, openly say that once you're into Marangoni, post 3rd year, you will never go to your parents and ask them, Mom, Dad, ab main kya karu? That's the worst thing they would want to hear. You will have your directions ready in front of you. You will have the best platform. You will have the best connects, and your network will become your net worth now. So definitely all these perks will come in front of you. But as I said, it's an intensive program. So you literally have to, give your 9 to 10 hours every day in Marangoni. Now talking about how to get into the college, any top 10, top 20, top 30 universities will check you on a holistic growth. That means they will ask you for the last 3 years academic record. And same we check in Marangoni. So last 3 years academic record means your 10th, 11th and 12th prediction. I'm sorry, if all the students can put their self on mute, and then we'll take the questions that later. Yeah, thank you. So academically, we'll check for the last 3 years, 10th, 11th, and 12th predictive score. For the co-curriculum activities, we'll check you for the last 4 years. That means we're going to check whether you are national level scuba diver, dancer, singer, musician, working with NGOs, having inter-college competitions. I've seen students all putting their self in the academic forum and they're not having it more into core curriculum. So in that way, if you are among those students and if you still want to have your place in Marangoni, please get a study with directly with Mr. Sumit and get a LOR, letter of recommendation, by end of the day. That LOR will always give a brownie points in future for you. Then third element is going to be a SOP, statement of purpose. It's a 1-page write-up in which you need to put down details like by the specific course, by the specific institution, your market knowledge, and what exactly are you looking for self in the next 5, 10, 15 years. So all this information should be there, about, let's say, 450 words to 650 word write-up. is required. That's called an SOP. Fourth element is going to be a portfolio. Portfolio means 12 to 14 best sketches, drawings, paintings, photography, artifact, a dress that you have designed for yourself, for your mom, dad, for your uncle and aunt, a dress that you have styled for yourself, for your mom, dad, for your friends. That slide with a 150, 250 word write up. What was the inspiration? What is the story behind making that, collateral is very, very important. That will become your portfolio. Portfolio is your best reflection of your personality. So a lot of students do come to me and say, "Sir, what should we do?" Anything what you think is the best creative thing that you have made, when that too with you have a story behind it, please put that and it will act as a portfolio. Again, Mr. Sumit will be the right person to connect in terms of portfolio building. He has been giving really good portfolios, and students have been quite knowledgeable when they come to my first year of Marangoni. Now, the fifth element is going to be a round of an interview with the academic director. So whichever campus you're opting for, Milan, Paris, London, even Mumbai campus, the academic director of that specific campus is your interview. And after these five elements, you would get the admission with Marangoni. And apart from that, if you're applying for postgrad program, then there is 3 additional documents. One is the graduation marks. Then we will have 2 LORs at this point of time, and then we also need a personal statement. Okay, this is the good stuff. Now, a little more good stuff for you. How many of you have heard about a designer by the name Domenico Dolce from Dolce & Gabbana, DNG? Just chat on the chat column if you can mention yes and no. Perfect. So you have heard about DNG brand, right? Or how many of you have heard about Salvatore Ferragamo, a luxury leather product brand, Salvatore Ferragamo? Or maybe Moschino, Franco Moschino from Moschino brand is a designer. Okay, what about the Indian celebrity designer Rahul Mishra, or Indian celebrity designer Dhruv Kapoor, who's doing wonders in the Italian Fashion Week? Or maybe you must have heard about Shah Rukh Khan and Ranveer Singh. The stylist for Shah Rukh Khan and Ranveer Singh is called Akanksha Arora. So everyone who I've just mentioned is an alumni of Marangoni, including Alessandra from Tod's even. So we have a good network of alumni. But if I'll show you a video, everyone is saying the same thing. Do notice it. I'm going to start the video now for you. Do notice what they're trying to tell you.
It's always like I feel like I will have heart attack before the show. I think we were really lucky to have such a great time at Marangoni. Anything's possible. Follow your dream, create what you love, and nothing's impossible.
I would love to be a student again. I would easily do the whole course again.
This fantastic school and this fantastic job and career that I expect you after will always pay you back in satisfaction.
So that was the good stuff. Another good stuff for you is Istituto Marangoni definitely have a merit-based scholarship in which you can apply. We have a 2 million euro is the amount that is being distributed among the 10 campuses. You can apply in the first year with your prerequisites that I just mentioned while taking the admission. You can also apply in the second year. You can also apply in the third year. Looking at the prerequisites, that is your past year, marks. And on the other side, we also have merit-based scholarships. So a lot of brands, the big brands, come to our campuses. Likewise, I'll give you an example. 3 months back, we have a merit-based scholarship that was circulated to all the students of Marangoni. It is called House of Istituto Marangoni by Vogue magazine, Vogue India and Vogue Italiana. So what they did was they gave a 50% scholarship on to my third year student, and on the also the same thing they did was they circulated that students' work among all the top designers in the industry, and definitely the student get the best platform ahead for themselves. And also, this was just an example of Vogue. We also have a direct, a partnership, or I would say a merit-based scholarship coming from Prada, which also happened about 6 months back. Again, so Prada is an umbrella brand where Miu Miu is also there. Prada itself is there, and there's a few more luxury brands. Now they have kept a separate reservation for Marangoni students. And my students for Milan campus, for India campus, and Paris campus, 3 campuses, got this opportunity to work on their project. And my students were given a 20% scholarship in the first year. There were a few students who've been given 30% on the second year. And there were a few who also got 50% scholarship for the third year directly from Prada. And after that third year, they can start working with Prada, or they can also put their thing in the resume that they have won a scholarship. So all these platforms are there from our Marangoni students. Now, one thing I would want to tell it to you is Istituto Marangoni doesn't have academicians. I do not have people teaching for the last 10, 20, 50 years. Like when I did BBMBA, there was academicians who've been sitting there and been teaching me through the books. Where in Marangoni, there is only 2 options for the facilitators. The one option is people coming from the luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace, Christian Dior. They come over, they would stay for at least 8 weeks in each of my campus, and they would, share their knowledge with my students, and also will share a live project which is there going in their company. So my class will have up to 20 students. 18 students will give a submission to the designers, to the person who has come ahead to teach them, and the best 2 will give a direct submission to the designer who asked for it, sitting at the part of the world. So in very first year, if let's say you're working with Stamo came from Calvin Klein, London factory in pattern making, you're working on pattern making, 18 students give submission to Stamo, but the best to give submission to another colleague designer sitting at the part of the world. So in 3 years, my student will have 14 to 16 live projects in their resume. That's option 1. Option 2 is the alumni of Istituto Marangoni who studied in Milan, Paris, London, Florence campus, have worked there in that country, have come back to India or the native country working in that industry. Now they're going to be teaching my students, and they're also going to be the mentors to my student because they know the Indian and international industry. And now another thing, they also need to give a live project to the students, whatever they're working on. So in the full environment, you're working with the professionals, so they don't know how to spoon feed. So that's the bad part. The good part is you're making such a beautiful network, about 55 to 60 people from the industry. And that makes us placements having 94% placement ratio with 88% only with the luxury brands. I think that's one thing which we are very, very happy of. That's kind of a placement, and the platform and the setup is for Marangoni students. That was again a good part. The bad part is we have a 15% is the attrition rate in Marangoni. So let's say out of 20 students, 1 or 2 students getting plugged every year. So out of 3 students, 3 years, we will have 15 to 16 students in a class. So that becomes, but all these 16 students will have the best network again. And the ones who are just doing for the sake of doing, let's say their friends are into it, or they've been forced by the parents, it's a good college you need to get in, but they're the thought was in some other program, those students will not be able to cope up. But who has a passion, they will enjoy so much because here you can experiment so many opportunities. The best way to check all these brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace, Christian Dior, H&M, Inditex, Max Mara, Burberry, Chanel, these are the top recruiters of this institution. This is not what I am saying. This is not the website is saying. This is not the Google is saying. This is what LinkedIn is saying. LinkedIn is a platform where you can put down, anyone who makes an account has to put down details like where have I studied from, where I'm currently working, and where have I, worked before. So with that knowledge, if you put on LinkedIn, you will see this page, and I'll show you in my, latest slides. So I think this is enough for the presentation for now, but I'm going to share something else with you now. There are two more things I would like to share. Now is the fee structure and the placements, because that's the most crucial part for any student. You all can see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, perfect. So when you go to LinkedIn, because now we were on LinkedIn and you want to also compare with apple to apple, isn't it? So if you put Istituto Marangoni, this page would come in front of you. And if you click on alumni, okay, then this page would come. Wait, I think a bit less. Yeah, this page would come. You put a year 2011 because now you want to know the last 10-year data, isn't it? Why do you want to go with the last 50-year data? Let's go with last 10-year data. You click here. As I said, so about 15,000 students said we have studied between 2011 and 21 with Marangoni. 174 is studying working with Marangoni. As I said, we have facilitators, but then we have Christian Dior, Gucci, Inditex, Louis Vuitton, Giorgio Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Versace, Prada, Chanel, Max Mara. Then we have L'Oreal, then we have Balenciaga, then we have Burberry. All these are the top brands where our maximum students are starting. That's how you can compare about Marangoni. That's about placement. Okay. This is an email which I normally send to most of my students. This email has all the brief description about Marangoni Mumbai campus. Initially about what we are. These are the 4 undergraduate programs. So even let's say if you are thinking of getting into fashion design, then my personal suggestion, please always compare 2 courses at the same time. You should not just go with one view. Okay, let's say if you're opting for fashion design, you click on fashion design, then the course specification would come in front of you. Okay, that's how you can make the comparison of fashion designing. Wait, yeah. So this is how all details about the learning outcome, the modules, how the checking is going to be done. That's how it will come for fashion design. Then you can also click on fashion business. So likewise, all the course specifications would come, and always compare between the two. Always. Okay, that's very, very important. This is the basic details of whatever we require for the admission process. These are the required things in the email. This is a little detail about, if you, let's say you do 1 year in India, you do 2 years in London or Paris, that is in France. By default, you will get a BA honors degree in 1+2 category. That is 1 year India, 2 years London or Paris. And if you apply for 2 years India last year in Milan or Florence, or even if you do 1 year India and last year in Milan and Florence, basically in Italy, okay? As per the government guidelines, you will get a European diploma, and this is what is given to all my students. Now, the fee structure also changes. Let's say with an option 1, where option 1 says 2 years in India campus, last year in Milan, Paris, or Florence. This is going to be the fee structure. Now, please understand, this is a fee structure for 2021 admissions. We still will get the application form out by November 2021 for August 2022 intake. So you all students are looking for August 2022, right? So understand a little 5% increment is going to be there on the fee structure. For now, for you to understand, first year is 8.84, second year is 8.84, third year is 21,600 after 20% discount. This is for 2+1 category. And if you're opting for 1+2, that means 1 year India and last year in London or Paris, this is going to be the fee structure. Again, 5% increment for the next year. And definitely you can click in case these 4 courses doesn't go well and still you want to apply. But this time now you want to apply for the all Milan campus, your all London campus or Florence campus in your first year, then you can click on these 3 links and you can find yourself a right course, and you can get back to either Sumit or you can get back to me, and we'll be happy to provide you information about the other campuses also. Okay. And this is the website about Istituto Marangoni. You just need to go there, and or rather going there, I have made your life easy in that email only. So if you click here, you'll directly be, going to direct fashion courses or design courses, or art courses. So I think that was a brief overview about Marangoni. Now, please ask me questions and I'll be happy to help you with all your queries.
Thank you so much, Maheep. So you have already answered 30-40% of my questions, but definitely okay. I'll question you for some of the things, because I have got a lot of questions from the students. So first of all, Maheep, so all the students who are here with me, So mostly, if you see in India, the colleges are for 4 years. 1 year is the foundation year, and 3 years the graduation. So I
Right.
want to ask you, Maheep, that how the students will see the students in India, they do till class 12, they are doing humanities, commerce, science, PCM, PCB. And
Right.
when they get a foundation year, they generally get a good idea about first hand idea about the field of design. So how
Right.
Instituto Marangoni is making sure that the students are not losing out anything while doing just a 3 year program and not a 4 year program, which has a foundation program as well?
Okay, I'll ask you, I'll give you an answer to it that with Istituto Marangoni, please understand we are not catering to the mass admissions. We hardly have 157 seats for the India campus. Now, when we're talking about the students, we're talking about the really passionate students who've been literally working their way out for the last 2-3 years. So the ones who have already been working for last year and 2 years, they already know what Marangoni standards are. Now, this becomes easy and convenient for my students is that in the foundation year, in Indian context, you do a lot of activities, but you literally don't work on your core subject line. But in Marangoni, you start working towards that core subject from the day one. We're not going to waste your time. We are very professional in our way. When we say that we're going to be on a full throttle from the day one, we go on the full throttle from the day one. So that becomes easy because by the end of 3 years, you can start in the industry. You will have the right set of course credits. So in the international market, we call it course credits. So you will have the right standard of course credits. So in future, you can go anywhere with Marangoni, certifications. So honestly, when anyone comes to Marangoni, for them, the first thing is that they need to have the best exposure. They need to have the best placement, and that background checks we already do before putting them in the campus. Okay, because we are going to be doing a one-on-one conversation. We'll be doing a lot of counselings. We're going to be making them a part of a lot of open days. We're going to make them part of a lot of sessions, be it physical sessions or be it virtual sessions. So we do a lot of I would say we give them a lot of information before that, so that once they are in Marangoni, they are they're going to start the course from the day one. We are not going to waste your full 1 year just to experiment. Sorry, experimental students are somewhat, for Marangoni, we keep it as like the ones who are kind of confused. The confused students will be a kind of, not, unfortunately, you need to be really focused. In other words, I would say. Sorry, you're on mute.
You have answered the question perfectly. So point number 2 is that like in foundation year, what happens is that a lot of students get to know about their flaws, get to know about their strength, get to know about that, okay, I was thinking that I'm good in fashion, but now I think that I'm good in styling. So what is there any option for those kind of confused kids after first year or after 6 months or maybe 2 months that, okay, the course is not appropriate for me. Like I always thought that I should get into styling, but now I want to get into fashion. So is there any provision for them to shift their course?
So, yeah, I'll give you information how we work step by step. Unfortunately, we do not have such kind of provision that once you're into the course, you can change it, but I'll tell you how we do it. First, we'll do step one where I'm going to be putting an email to the student. I will tell them to do the research, compare. Second level is when we'll do a one-on-one counseling with the student. Third step is when we also put the parents and the facilitator in the line to understand what is the psyche of the audience, of the student. Fourth element is still, if student is still confused, I'm going to make sure that they be a part of the physical events, the physical workshops. Fifth element is I'm going to invite them to Marangoni, and we're going to be doing a lot of virtual sessions with them. We'll ask them to follow us on Instagram, where we do a lot of, I would say, industry meets. Then comes the fifth and sixth, where in case still a student is confused, then we tell them you can be a part of the 4-week short program. I tell them on the very rarest case, honestly, in this last 7 years, by sixth, student is very well adversed with what she wants to do. But again, he wants to do. But again, if they're still confused, we still have that 4-week short program where they can do a brief learning process, and then they can take a final call for themselves about the undergraduate program. And once, even if you're in undergraduate program, you still have about the initial 15 days to say no. You can switch to other other course, but not after the 16th day. You have to continue, because back-to-back our sessions are going to be intensive ones. Anything you miss out is going to be a trouble for the student at later stage.
Okay, my another question is a question which I have received so far, like till the time we have started the session, 4 students have asked this question. Is that I have heard that Marangoni is best for fashion and styling. Tell me more about the interior design course. We are quite interested for interiors, but not sure that whether we should go for interiors in Marangoni or not. So please elaborate the interior design course.
Right. Interior designing, to be really honest, interior designing, first thing first, you should know by now that interior designing is having the maximum demand in India right now. Okay, even better than product designing, if I literally tell it to you, because what Marangoni is doing, Marangoni is a specific college in Milan. So I've got 2 schools in Milan. One is School of Fashion, the other one is School of Design. Okay, so in the School of Design, we also now there is one School of Design in Milan. There is one School of Fashion and Design in Mumbai, and there is another School of Fashion and Design in London. So only 3 campuses offer you interior design program. So let's say you start with India campus, you would know not just the residential interiors, not just the restaurant interiors, not just the commercial interiors, but now in Marangoni, you can also learn furniture designing and lighting environment design, which was a part of product designing and which was having the maximum demand in Indian geographics. And if you study in India and you go to Milan or you go to London, definitely you'll get the best exposure possible. Please understand, Milan is the design capital of the world. We are there in the industry for 85 years. We are #1 in Italy. So there's a reason why we are in fashion, but there is also a reason why we are also very well doing in the design platform. And interior designing, believe me, it is having a really good demand.
All right. Okay, so you mean to say the Mumbai campus is also the same exposure and same kind of
same
thing?
Exposure, same, yeah, and definitely a good, even not just the exposure, it's not just about Marangoni. As a student should also take interior designing, is for a matter of fact, there's a huge demand of interior designing in India. And the campus, the colleges who can give you the best opportunity, best exposure, best learning outcome, you should definitely get with it. And with Marangoni, you will definitely you will be going to either Milan or you'll be going to London campus, and both can give you a very good exposure with a good exposure from the Indian context that you study in Mumbai. So it's a double exposure.
So the students who want to go for interior design, it's not important to have maths or science as a background in class 11th and 12th.
In Marangoni, no. You need to have a passion. You need to have a passion to stay back for 9-10 years 9-10 hours every day and learn and experiment in this category. Yes.
Okay, now a couple of students have asked that Maheep Sir has shown us all the big brands and the recruiters from the international thing, but what about the Indian companies? Who are the hirers who come from like the Indian fraternity and they take the students? So which are the big brands from India?
Okay, let me tell you, whatever the brands that I just mentioned are the global brands. They're
yeah,
not just the Indian. So they also have their offices in India, and we are directly linked with them. We are actually linked with the Indo-Italian Chamber. So whatever the Italian brand even comes to India, the first event is being done in Marangoni only. It's a networking event. So we connect with them, and lately they only, take our students. That's how my students also have a really good confidence level of networking.
Yes, I remember that I have attended your one the student connect program which was happened in the hostel, I guess. Niti Bagh.
Yes.
Niti Bagh, and like all the big people, like all your big alumni came there for the student connect. So among them was Dhruv also.
But still, I'll show you names of. There are certain Indian brands also who I've mentioned yet. Wait, I'll just share that detail also. Give me a minute, please, if you don't mind. I'll just take it out. I would hardly take 30 seconds.
By the time you are looking for, I have another question to ask from you.
Yes, please.
Yes. So students are still confused about the diploma and degree. So they are asking, it's a very genuine question, that suppose they have done 2 years from Mumbai and 1 year from Milan, they will be getting a diploma, if I'm not right, correct?
Yes, that's a European diploma.
That's a European diploma. So this European diploma is equivalent to degree if they want to go for post-graduation, or it will be counted as a diploma outside there also?
Okay, I tell you what, with Marangoni, so you offer masters when? You offer masters when you're applying for the specialization, right?
Yes,
In
right.
this 3 years of course in Marangoni, the first year is basic, second year is advanced, and we complete the specialization in the third year. When I said if student is going to Milan, it's women's wear, Florence, men's wear, Paris, haute couture, London, pret couture. So this is when we do the specialization. Post the course, student doesn't need to do a more, master's program just after the course. But definitely in 3, 4, 5 years down the line, if they want to continue with the master's program, we do have master's program also in Marangoni. So if let's say you're applying for Milan campus, and if you say, Maheep, can I do it in my London campus, the master's program? Yes, you can be able to. If you have a set certain, certifications, that means you have a set, you have a set work experience. Then there is a lot of students who have also applied for LCF. They have also applied for various other campuses after having a European diploma that's that comes from Italy campus. They have done it before. So it's not that it is not mandatory, you cannot do it. But if you have a set right set of credentials with the right exposure, you would be able to complete your course ahead for the master's. And plus we also have it.
And if a student has done 2 years in Mumbai, 1 year in London, they will be getting a BA degree.
No, for London campus or France, that is Paris, you need to have all the 3 years in that country, or you have to have the majority of the course in that country. So out of 3 years, 2 years is to be done in that country. So to obtain that credential, that is called BA on degree. So 1+2 is the minimalistic requirement, or you can do all 3 years in London. So to get BA honors
So
degree.
if they have
For
done
that degree,
they will get a degree.
1+2 in Paris or London, you would get a degree. Even if you do 1+2 in Milan, you will never get a degree. It's still going to be a European diploma. Okay. Because in that context, you get a European. In Italy, you by default, you get a European diploma. Only in France or in UK, you get a BA honors degree with 1+2 category. Now,
two very important questions which came just after it is that many of the students have heard that there is a sandwich year you can avail in Institute Marangoni. So a student can study for 2 years, take 1 year sabbatical, they can work, they can intern, and then completes their third year after the 1 year of the sandwich year. So yeah.
So I'll give you a background of this sandwich program was that, London was not giving a work visa to the students about a year and a half back. So even if a student do 3 years, they eventually had to come back to the country because you weren't getting a work visa. So in that way, then Marangoni and a lot of top universities also work upon it. And what they did was they transferred this 3-year program into a 4-year program. Mm-hmm. Now in this 4-year program, 2 years you study. First year basic and advanced level you study. Third year you complete full 1 year as an internship. And then fourth year, you again go back into the studies, and then you complete your course. With this, you had a good network, and the chances of staying back was very, very good for the students. But now come back. Right now, UK started giving a work visa to the students. So my students can apply for 3 years. They can start working in the industry, or you can even apply for the 4-year sandwich program. This is all optional for you. So even you can do like a year in India, 1 year in London, and then third year in the industry, and fourth year again studying in London campus. So all these options are readily available for you without any doubt.
So so after that you can show the screen. So the work visa is also available after completing the last year in Milan, or there is no work visa in Italy?
No. So in Italy, how it works is definitely, as I said, we have a 94% placement ratio. Milan has always been my personal favorite, is for a matter of fact that even let's say if you don't get a work visa, considering you are among those 6% students who didn't get any job, okay, still you can take an internship or apprenticeship, and you can take a permesso from the embassy, and you can work for 7 to 8 months, and you can find yourself a job with Marangoni. So, this extra time is also given to the students with just doing an internship or apprenticeship. Permesso is being given by the embassy, and it's very readily available and easily given to the students or Marangoni.
Okay, you want to share your screen?
Yes, there is a small, number of companies recently, which has taken which has taken few of my students. These are the Indian companies. Right from Pink Peacock Couture to Babita Malkani to Hala to Krishna Bajaj, Emblaze. So these are the brands which have taken my students for the internship. And there are few students who said that, okay, Maheep, post second year, I want to work in the industry for some time, and then I want to complete my third year. For those also, these are the brands which have come so far.
That's
So
a
just,
good insight.
yeah, so Relievi is an Italian embroidery brand. So we are connected with the luxury segment only in every way possible.
Right. Okay, Maheep. So we have one more question. Is that suppose a student has done 1 year in Mumbai, can they do the second year in London and third year in Paris?
Definitely they can do, but I will never appreciate that because, or I will never suggest that also, because then it will become a vocational tour from there for them. It's not going to be educational learning experience, because ek bacha, if the student is coming to one country or one city, they would take about 2 to 3 months just to settle down. And it's a course of 9.5 months. Okay. So that 3 months is already out just to settling down. And then just 6 months learning experience will not be enough. So opt for 1+2 or opt for 2+1. These two categories are going to be very happy, will be easy for you. Even you can do something like a year in Milan, 2 years London. You can do that. A year in Paris, 2 years in Florence. You can do all these options. Considering like how even we have it in Mumbai campus, you can do all those options. But consider two. You'll be happy, you'll be having a good learning curve.
Okay, one question. This answer मुझे भी नहीं पता है. Can we do complete 3 years in India?
We do have the third year now also in India, but I have never shared this information with Sumit before, because for a matter of fact, what I believe is when a student is getting into a course, when you or I myself is vouching for a course, a student should have the best learning outcome. So अगर बच्चा 2 साल इंडिया में करके मैं उसको थर्ड ईयर बाहर इसलिए भेजता हूँ, because बाहर we are renowned across the world and we are there in the industry for a long time. अगर वहाँ पे 94% placement ratio, there's a matter of fact that you can whatever the spends that you have done in the 3 years, you'll be able to pay off in just a year and a half max. But if you do the third year in India and you understand the inflation ratio in India and you know how much the bestest salary can get you, still आपको 3 या 4 साल लग जाएंगे just to pay off your loan. So I had third year option. That's why Sumit is not aware, because I've never shared with him. Because I personally don't believe students should do third year in India at least. They should go to Milan, Paris, London. You have so many options to go and get the best exposure. It's an Italian school. So you need to have that kind of an exposure. You need to meet people who have come to teach you in India. Now go and meet them. It's for you to, to work along with them, freelance with them. You need to have a lot of opportunities. मेरे पास बहुत लुधियाना, सूरत के students आते हैं who literally, they had their businesses, they got into Marangoni. Now what they're doing is, because of their connections, they're getting all the work from Milan and getting it through their factories in India. And that's all about networking, and that's all about the exposure. So definitely please do have that.
One more question. If a student is doing a fashion design course, is there any option for the students to choose minors in styling or minors in fashion management or retail courses, or they have to do the complete 3 years of the course they have chosen?
Okay, I tell you, in Marangoni, definitely when you're opting for fashion design, our core knowledge is going to be on fashion design. Or if you're opting for fashion business, core is fashion business, styling, core styling. But if let's say I'll give you an example. Even in India campus, let's say Ravioli has come. Ravioli is an Indian, Italian embroidery brand. They came in. They wanted to work on certain projects where a designer and the stylist have to work together. So in that way, my design students and my styling students started working together. So there's a lot of cross learning experience that my student would get. You don't need to go with specifically minor styling or minor business. You by default will get all that knowledge alongside the design as a course subject line. So you will know how to come up with your own brand. You will know how to do what is styling, what is brand identity. You will definitely know what is demand, supply. All these things would be taken care of all together.
No, in fact, I want to add on it. One of my student name is Vanshika. Now she has gone to Istituto Marangoni for the styling course. And from the first year, she started getting so many celebrity styling opportunities. Now she's in third year. She has taken a sandwich here. अब वो इतना इंडस्ट्री में काम करके थक चुकी है, ऐसा लगता है कि वो जॉब कर रही है 10 सालों से. तो अभी उसका 1 साल पढ़ाई का बचा है. So now she has been, जब भी मुझसे मिलती है, she's been crying कि मैं थक चुकी हूँ. मैं बोले अभी तुम्हारा तो करियर शुरू हुआ और तुम तो कॉलेज में ऐसी बातें कर रही हो, तो इंडस्ट्री में क्या करोगी? तो she has been working 12 hours, 13 hours a day. So more than the studies, what she is doing in the college, she's getting a lot of first-hand experience, and definitely the type of exposure she's getting is not a very luxury, but a mixture of luxury, mixture of very hard-working experience, and like the fighting spirit is there. So I definitely appreciate the type of environment Institute Marangoni is giving to the students and the industry exposure. So okay, my next question is very practical. Is that Istituto Marangoni is an Italian college. So I myself is a design student. I have done my graduation from NIFT, and I have seen that when we go to NIFT, we do a lot of Indian wear, ethnic wear, all these kind of things. So does Istituto Marangoni also offers in fashion design course all kind of Indian wears, also lehenga, sherwani, all these things, or it will be constrained to the Italian fits and UK styles?
No. So in Marangoni, we what I've seen so far in this, in Marangoni is we're going to tell you the techniques. We're going to make you learn how to take the inspiration. We're going to make you learn how to do the illustrations. We will make you learn how to take the work on the mood boards or digital illustrations or draping, drafting, patterning, stitching. We'll teach you all the technicalities. Inspiration has to come by the student. So that inspiration can be even in the ethnic garments or in the Western garments. It's a student's choice. We're going to make them learn everything. So let's take an example. Why to go far? Let's say Rahul Mishra. Please check Rahul Mishra's garment. He's just won a Woolmark award, doing wonderful in Italian Fashion Week. Still, his garments are Indo-Western. You will see a lot of ethnical garments also coming from Rahul Mishra. He's a Marangoni pure student. So likewise, we tell them the techniques. It's the student's inspiration where they take it forward to. Let's say you are into haute couture. You would go to Paris, but then eventually, if you come back to India, you'll be working on the lehengas with the haute couture, substantial elements into it. So all these things will depend upon students. We will give them the platform of learning and taking it ahead and progressing.
Okay, you have definitely summarized and answered my question. Okay, my next question is that I have been to your campus, one of the most dreamy campus one can ever study. That you are library in बैठे और सामने आप
it's a studio. Actually it's a studio infrastructure. So we do not have like classes or regular classes.
Yes, I know.
It's a proper studio vibe that you would get.
Okay, what I want to ask about the hostel facilities. So does Institute Marangoni have their own hostels, or they can arrange or they have to arrange the hostels on their own in India and outside India?
Okay, so when I'm talking about one campus, I'm by default talking about the 10 campuses of Marangoni. Okay, the one rule is for all the campuses. Now, when you talk about the hostel facility, before COVID, we were not having any hostel facility. We had certified brokers, 3 to 4 in a list, which we used to share the details to all our students. And depending upon the requirement, be it 15,000, 20,000, 25, 30, 50, whatever your requirement is per month, you can check the apartment and they will help you out. But they already know the basics that what are going to be the standards for Marangoni students. This was before COVID. Now during COVID, a lot of students, and the parents came to me and asked me, Maheep, okay, now how to go about it? Because I don't want my child to go out and look for the groceries and for the maids if they're not coming and for the food. Help us with it. So then Marangoni took a call where Marangoni started, hired a third-party hostel facility in India to begin with. That's called Your Space. It's about 2 kilometers away. A hotel turned into a hostel only for Marangoni girls students. And so now I have a hostel dedicated for Marangoni girls students. I have the brokers, a certified 3 to 4 brokers. And now because I'm there in the industry for the last 5 years, we also have a lot of students who have started living in apartments next to our building, and then they left. Then the owners also know me now. So when and where student needs any help, I actually, for Marangoni India campus, I am heading the accommodation thing for my students. So anywhere where they need me, I give them all the information, be it hostel, I have the hostel facility, be it brokers, I have the list. And if they need a campus or an apartment, next to my building, I also have directly links with the owners. So all these options are available. For India campus, that is taken care by me. But for the Milan, Paris, London, Florence campuses, that is taken care by someone else. But definitely they will have something of the same sort.
Okay. One very flat question. What amount a parent should think when they are sending their kids to Istituto Marangoni for 3 years, if they are doing 2 years in Mumbai, 1 year in Milan, including hostel and accommodation facility. So a rough estimate of the cost for 3 years, 2+1 in Milan and 2+1 in London.
So I'll give you an example. If you opt for 2 years India, last year Milan, it's approximately 38, 39 lakhs for the academic side. And let's say, considering the now hostel facility also, where your breakfast, dinner, good facility, fully furnished apartment, just 2 hour kilometer from the distance from the campus, Milan and Paris Milan ko milake, it will turn out to be 39 plus, consider 17 lakhs more. 17 to 18 lakhs more. So it comes to approximately, I would say 57 is the number, including the boarding, lodging, learning exposure, everything included in it. And the best thing is, even in my third year, when students, because now third year students are doing specialization, my third year students are actually started working with when freelancing for my facilitators only, or for the brands. So last year, जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ 8 से 10 लाख रुपए is the cost of living. That is almost taken care by the students itself. They don't need to ask the parents. This is what I've seen with my students, that they do the freelancing and they get the money out. Yeah.
All right. So it means the student should be ready for 55 lakh rupees, including hostel, tuition, and all kind of things for 2+1 program. And for 1+2 program, definitely it will increase by 26,000 euros.
Yes.
Right. So that's quite simple. Okay. My next question is that can a student also do an Indian degree along with, like a lot of kids do a Mumbai University thing, IGNOU, so that they have an Indian graduation degree also? Can they do along with the pressure of Istituto Marangoni?
Okay. To be really, really honest, definitely, you will see a lot of Indians to, colleges giving you that opportunity where you can work with an extra certification degrees. I'm so sorry, with Marangoni, as I said, you'll be so occupied, you literally can't do anything else. And our credentials are very legit, so you don't need to worry at all. You will have a very legit, you will have a really good future for yourself. You don't need to have that sociology in the degree, or psychology in the degree, just for the matter of having a degree. Sorry, please don't get into all that. You have opted for fashion design, so learn fashion design. You opted for business, start learning business. Styling, start learning styling. Don't get into it complexities. We don't give you the platter. We'll give you the right set of knowledge, and then you can take it forward.
This is the most basic question I like. So far, I've got 30 questions. Out of those 30, 15 questions is the same, that can we do this? Can we do that? Okay. All right. So my couple of questions student have asked is that will it, like, how much it will be a different exposure? Like, there are 7 to 8 students who have enrolled me just for Istituto Marangoni Milan. So will it be really different that they do 1 year in Mumbai and 2 years in Milan, since they will be saving a lot of money? So the studies, the curriculum and output will be exactly same according to you if they are doing 1 year in Mumbai and 2 years in Milan, or 2 years in Mumbai, 1 year in Milan?
Yes. It's going to be as I said, facility. Even I'll give you an example. If any of the student comes to my Mumbai campus, you will see even the furniture has come from Italy. Even the books we don't have books with 10,000, library with 10,000 books. We have about 1,500 books, but that's a curated library. That's being in those books are worth 100,000 books. Okay, so they have come from different parts of the world. So the facilitator, facility, accreditation, certifications, believe me, remains the same. We do not have an Indian counterpart. So that cheapness will never come in the line. Everything has to be taken care by the Milan headquarters. So you will see everything all exactly, but definitely there's 2 fee differences. As I said before, fee structure and the geographic exposure. Geographic exposure, believe me, is very vital. That will always be there. That, that is the main difference. Apart from that, rest, everything remains the same.
Okay. One question I've just got, that obviously if a student is studying in Milan for 3 years, they will be having so many guest lecturers who will be coming and giving the lectures.
Same in India campus. Same in
the India campus.
Same in India campus. There's no as such differentiation. All these people are going to be coming and giving you the live guest lectures also. So please don't worry. As I said, the facilitators and facility will remain the same. Please don't differentiate कि ऐसा कुछ ज़्यादा difference आएगा, कोई ज़्यादा difference नहीं आएगा. Learning curve तुम्हारा same रहेगा. Only the exposure will be a bit of difference.
All right. Now we are coming into the last segment. We call it rapid fire. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Coming into the last segment, two very important thing, क्योंकि ये rapid fire मेरे ऊपर होता है. सर आप तो पोर्टफोलियो ही नहीं शुरू करा रहे हो. आप ये तो so in all my sessions I ask the same questions. Does the portfolio only need to have artworks, or they have to show everything they have done in last 5-6 years, including elocution, debate, sports, drama, music, and art?
Okay, so as I said before, in a portfolio, we check 12 best sketches, drawings, paintings, photography, artifact, or design. This is portfolio. But I also mentioned we like to see the co-curriculum activities. So in that co-curriculum activities list, you can mention all these things, what you have done in the last 4 years. So we need to see both the elements. So please don't say that we just want to see one. हमको दोनों चीजें देखनी है. Any top universities would like to see the total 360 dimensions of a student. So we need both the things. And in case you're, yeah.
क्योंकि आप तो बोल के अभी निकल जाओगे, उसके बाद मेरे ऊपर होगा बॉम्ब, मेरे ऊपर गिरेगा बॉम्ब.
As I said before, in case there's a lot of students who comes to me and say, Maheep, I have a very good portfolio. I have put all my energy in academics. I am like 85-90% grader. I had never got into on my school. I have never got gave us a chance to get into co-curriculum activities. That's okay. You are a part of now design circle. There are areas where you will be doing an inter-school competitions, or there at the end at least Sumit can give you a LOR, letter of recommendation. That will definitely give you brownie points. So all this learning exposure that you would get in or 2 years, that will also is kind of a co-curriculum activity, right? That's giving you extra learning experience apart from academics. That will give you brownie points. Please don't worry.
Okay, so now like every year we have seen that Istituto Marangoni follows one thing, that they do not take more than 20 students in a batch. This I think you have been following since long. So what is the right time students should apply in Istituto Marangoni for 2022 September-August session?
Okay, very good question. So understand one thing: any international university or even with Marangoni, the new forms would come in the month of October, November. Okay, let's say it comes in 15th October. Then the best time for the students who are really focused, passionate, and their Marangoni was in their top priority, the right time for them is to apply in the month of October, November, December, and mid-Jan. This is the time when we are still setting up a benchmark. So there are times when even if you 85% marks, but with a good co-curriculum activities and SOP goes very well, I can help you with a scholarship as well. Now, post 15th Jan, my IB results would start coming in. Then students would got busy in their CBSE, IGCSE results. And then what all you will see is the benchmark is going really, 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 really high. So, for the admission and for the scholarship also. So if you will come to me in the month of, let's say, April, May, and you say, Maheep, I want to work on the scholarship part. Okay, please understand. Ab scholarship thoda tricky ho chuka hua is time pe. Now you literally have to work through your way.
Yes, I have faced a lot of problem this year for the students who were applying in June and July that आप तो मुकर ही जाते थे, scholarship है ही नहीं, डांट मुझे पड़ती थी. So that's the reason I have asked.
Yeah, yes, that's a very good question. See, scholarships, please understand. As I'm telling you again, we have very limited seats. We are renowned across the world. So we only take students on merit-based or the brand scholarship. There is only two ways, okay? If you really have the really good credentials, please apply for merit-based. Or if you want to apply for scholarship and you believe, okay, Maheep, mere nahi achhe aa rahe, merits mein nahi aa rahe, don't worry, Baba, you will have a brand-based scholarship also. We will share the links with you. Please at least apply for it. Don't say कि हम भूल गए थे, हम नहीं कर पाए. That is something where now I can't help you with it. Wherever I could help, I am already going to share things with you. I'm also going to tell you that please, follow us on Instagram. There's a lot of activities that we do. There's a lot of sessions that we, make students a part of. So do it. It's your learning curve. We can deliver this for you, but it's you who has to take that call.
I've just got a question from Achal. Is that is the scholarship applicable for all the 3 years, or all the 3 year differently? Like the scholarship of first
every year student can apply for the scholarship. ये नहीं है कि एक बार ही नहीं मिला तो आगे मिलेगा नहीं. No, please don't worry. First year में is based on your prerequisites. So मैंने बोला था academic, co-curriculum, SOP, portfolio, round up an interview. If you're setting up a benchmark, you get a scholarship first year. Now, once you are in the first year, before the first year gets over, we will ask you where do you want to do the second year. Let's say you say I want to continue in Mumbai or I want to go to Milan campus. At the same time, you also can say that please put my scholarship review. Then what we'll see your a total first year result, and then we will do the reviewing. If you are setting up a benchmark, you can apply for scholarship for second year. But likewise, when you are in second year, before the second year gets, so we'll again ask you, where do you want to do the third year? We'll give you all the presentations about the progression. Then you would take a call, Maheep, I want to continue, and let's say now I want to go to Paris because I want to go to the haute couture. Perfect. But Maheep, I also want you to check my admission review, the scholarship review. We again check your second year marks, and then we'll see if you're setting up some benchmark. We'll give you a scholarship. About 2 million euro is circulated between 10 schools, so my students will get it if you are setting up a benchmark. So
what is the minimum and maximum scholarship student can expect in Mumbai and the outside India campus?
I'll give you a best example. Dhruv Kapoor, Rahul Mishra got 100% scholarship. So we have it. Don't worry. If you're setting up a benchmark, you can get it. But definitely starting with Mumbai campus, consider first year, you would get scholarship between 5%, 10%, 15%. Then you are into the campus, you're setting up a benchmarks. Then as the benchmark is higher, you can apply for the better scholarships. Marangoni will help you out. But ye nahi ki first year aate sari, you will start bargaining. I don't need this one. Sorry. But bargaining, I'm sorry, I can't do it in Marangoni. Can never happen.
So from attendance to the way you are performing, to your rapport with the teachers and the extracurricular activity, all these things helps in the second and third year of scholarships.
Yes. So you need to be in the top 3 students in the class of 20. You need to have 85% or marks, 80% or above attendance, 95 plus attendance in the master classes. That means you will have about 1 or 2 master classes in a month. Uske andar itna attendance chahiye. And then you can, if you're setting up a benchmark, please put yourself for the scholarship review. You will definitely get something. And like that goes with the third year. Third year, you need to have a recommendation from the academic director. Apart from these 3-4 things which I just said, and you can apply for it again.
So once again, I'm repeating to clear the doubt of the student. So there will be a portfolio review, then there will be an interview, then you will take out the result, and in the result you will say that okay, you have got this scholarship. But likewise, we have seen in the previous year that the student need to pay the 1 lakh rupees of initial fees, right, and they have been proceeded for the scholarship programs.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the whole process. Process says that I need to have all the credentials of the student. Post the credentials, I'm going to be arranging a round of an interview with the academic director. That interview would happen. Post that interview, a student, if the real process says I need to take 1 lakh rupees also. And then the whole process would start. But looking at the Indian context, thoda sa tweak ho chuka hua hai. Wo tweak ye hai ki you send me all the credentials. I'll get your interviews sorted. Post the interview, if I'm getting a yes from the interviewee that okay, we can take this admission ahead to the head office, then I'm going to ask you about that 1 lakh is the enrollment fees. You pay it. I'll make a full package. Then I send it to the head office. Head office will review that package and reviews of the interview. If you're setting up a benchmark, then we will get a scholarship also. And post third day, let's say after making the payment and everything is sorted, 72 hours would take, and 72 working hours, you will get a confirmation email, and you will also receive a letter in which the mentioned scholarship amount is going to be there if you have got it.
So I have a request, Maheep, that
yes,
of course you know me since so many years, so I can make this request. I know this is a out of the way request, but yes, a lot of students wants me to get their portfolio reviewed before they submit it. So once we are done with the portfolio, I want I want you or someone else to review the portfolio and say that how good this portfolio is for the scholarship, because since the fees is very high, I know also that this fees is
we can definitely do that. I have been helping a lot of students, so guys, don't you please worry. Definitely Sumit is in the front line. He will help you out, but later in case you want my help to give you a review of the SOP, or to give you a review on the on this portfolio, or maybe help you with briefing of, sometimes there's students who ask me about sir, how to prepare for the interview. So I'll give them the basic question. This is the question that you can work upon. So all these things would help you come from me also. In case you want to, like how Sumit just mentioned that, Maheep, if you can get my students a proper review in future, if he wants someone who can a professional doing the review, we can also get it done, like a facilitator coming and checking the students' work. We can definitely do that. We want a right set of students for a Marangoni. So yeah, definitely no problem at all.
Yes. So I think you have answered almost all my questions, and these were the general questions I have got from my students and their parents. So thank you so much, Maheep, for answering all the thing. And I think we need to sit one more time when we are again bombarded with a lot of questions before the admission.
Yes.
So we'll again conduct the session for the questions they have there in mind. So thank you so much for now, Maheep. I think
Thank you
we
so much for bringing me here, and I hope I have given a good description about Marangoni to all my other students. So guys, just keep yourself on. You will have the best platform. Be focused. That's only my suggestion to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Maheep. We are putting the stop in the recording and we'll be sharing the recordings with you in case you have joined me late or you have left earlier because of the your other coaching classes because you have other coaching at 9 p.m. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much, Maheep. I'll call you once I have done with my homework and students are ready with a mini or some kind of portfolio. I'll show you.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.